What's up, everyone? Welcome to another class. Ian and Sherwin here. This is going to be Pronation Supination number 2. We're going to build on some of the stuff, but honestly, we are going to destroy the hamstrings. It's going to be a tough one. We could have called this a hamstring class. So if you're sore in the hamstrings, maybe consider coming back another day. You have been warned, okay? So we're going to start off the exact same way we started off the other one with this sock drill, just kind of getting into the deeper layers of it. Remember, when you put the sock down, we want it to be under the ball of the foot, not the big toe. We're looking at the arch being stimulated or being represented in the brain more by putting the sock under it. You're in a nice split stance. Trying to stay relatively tall because we're thinking about walking. A couple of things that I want you to focus on now. Remember, we're getting a diagonal angle, so weights back to the right, push off of the right to get to the left, knee bends forward over the first or second toe, then you come all the way back. When we come back, the pelvis should open up to the right. When he goes forward, pelvis should turn slightly to the left. You don't have to overdo it. If you are going to overdo it, overdo opening. But when you come forward, just give me to 11 o'clock. I don't need you to go to 8 o'clock and try to turn to the outside of the room or anything like that. The other thing that I want you to think about is keeping your eyes on the horizon. So if we want to think about this in terms of an athletic thing, we're trying to improve the way that you interact with the ground and the way that your arch and your foot pronates, supinates, and really interacts with the ground. So what I want you to do is think about you're playing basketball, you're able to see the entire defense, you're playing quarterback, you're able to see who's rushing you. So we're able to just look forward. If you need to look down, of course, that's fine, but just try not to do the whole entire thing like this, because we're really thinking about keeping length and staying tall throughout the whole entire thing. Remember, when we go forward, we're looking for the foot to flatten and relax. A lot of you are going to have this sensation of it doesn't want to give up. It doesn't want to let you go there. I want you to let it relax. Let the knee travel over the first and second toe. Make sure the heel stays heavy. If you're having early heel lifts, so as soon as you start to let your knee come forward, your heel lifts up. Maybe you feel a pinch in the front of the ankle. Try putting something under your heel and even possibly really revisiting the first class. If this isn't going that well, then maybe it's time to kind of regress to the next one. Just keep going. And then what I want you to also think about is when you come back, we're really pulling the arch up. So as he gets to his right foot, he gets the supination, the ball of the foot pulls to the heel, nice strong arch, then it relaxes forward. So you're going back and forth. Let's do one more and then we'll do our iso hold. Beautiful. Okay, so you're here, stay up in it. Good. Now we're going to have him really push through this one because he doesn't want to. We talked about that yesterday. There you go. Okay, so right glute is pushing through the ball of the foot. We can get some calf there. Nice little co-contraction. His pelvis is turned to 11 o'clock. His belt buckle's turned to 11 o'clock. You can think about it like that. Now he's driving hard. We're going to do this FRC style. I think we're about to do some pails and rails. I want you to slowly start pushing down more and more. You see the difference when you stay tall? Right? A little bit better, huh? Okay, so now pushing down through the ball of the foot, you're crushing that sock. Now when you're crushing that sock, I want you to crush that sock with soleus, so lower calf. Totally fine to feel the whole calf. I want you to try to get some hamstring and some glute in there. Imagine that I'm about to tell you to sprint forward. So you're pushing so far in the ground, but you're pushing back diagonally, almost dragging your foot under you so you can propel yourself forward because that's the next stage of gait. You're in the mid stance, thinking about getting to the late stance, which is propulsion of getting you forward. Max out your effort and hold. Woo! Man, that was a lot of talking. That cold brew is jumping. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, switch sides. Beautiful. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Make sure the sock is under the ball of the foot, not the big toe. You want to feel it under the arch. On this side, in general, people are going to have harder time with pronation. So the idea of bringing your knee forward and relaxing your arch. Go through this exact same drill. Try to stay tall. The other thing is the shin angle should be changing throughout the exercise, right? So your shin angle's here. As he goes forward, his shin angle should be tipped forward. As he comes back, his shin angle should be at least vertical and even later or earlier stance. There you go. So this allows him, like we did that picture in your first pronation supination class, where we have that kind of marker, that University of Miami, where it goes middle of the heel, outside of the arch. Then we end up at the ball of the foot. So it's that transfer of weight from the outside to the inside. And we want to really be able to think about that and feel it. When we come back, we should eventually center ourselves in the middle of the heel. Good. And then as he goes forward, that travels around the foot and ends up at the ball of the foot right there. Good. Keep those going. Remember, the pelvis turns slightly. As you go forward, it turns slightly right. We're just going to 1 o'clock now. We're not trying to get to 5 or trying to turn the whole body. Let your rib cage move a little bit. You don't have to keep it locked in, but really, really do your best. Remember, you're pushing off of the left foot to get to the right, so there should be that diagonal. We're working on weight shifting. There is a weight shift here. We're gonna do some stuff that keeps you on one side today, but this is learning how to get from one side to the other. It's almost as if this other side is accepting you. You're able to really hold on that side. Now let's go forward and hold this one. Beautiful. Give me a good breath. Full exhale. Start ramping up the tension. Let's even have you do this. Let's close your eyes. Close your eyes and try to give me as much right glute and right ball of the foot as you got. So if you can feel your right glute driving through that sock, I would love that. The action is that you're actually pulling the ground under you. For brownie points, let's reach this left arm forward, which will turn your chest right slightly, which is okay. Beautiful. Now drive through that. Pelvis is just slightly over to the right. Yes, sir, good. Max that shit out, let's go. All the way up. 100% effort, hold. Open your eyes for the last 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, feel the connection. Everything's working together. We're getting good at teaming everybody up. 3, 2, and 1. Shake that off, relax. You can throw your sock off to the side. You don't need anything in your hands, but we're gonna give them a yoga block, and we'll go ahead and get into the next drill. All right, so now we're taking this into kind of a dynamic fashion. We're gonna open up the groin a little bit more. I want you to think about someone messed with you and you're about to Liu Kang them, or you're thinking basketball and you're just opening up, maybe cornerback wise, and then you have to turn and shuffle. So we're looking for pronation and supination on the front foot. So let's go over the 2 stances. So let's start here, just open up. So what he's doing right here is he's not letting his knee fall inward, and he's trying to get his arch to be as strong as possible. Yeah, there you go, relax it, and then fire it up. That's what, just do 2 more so they can actually see that, that's perfect. Good, so you see that spiral that goes through, but notice he's killing it and not losing this. Now relax it, and now up. Beautiful. So that's the position you should be in for your foot. Now, go ahead and step forward and across. Good. Everybody's a little different. So you can see this is actually a ton of hip mobility because he actually has to close down his left hip and turn everything that way. So he could just step to even if he wanted to. So take a little step back and just be to even. So like that would even be okay, honestly. But what we're looking for, step forward again, is for this knee to be able to travel forward, and I want this to relax into the ground as best as you can so that the arch comes to the ground, the knee travels over the ankle, and now step back. Beautiful. Just do 20, keep going. And you can just do these relatively smooth. Maybe the first few, start to think about it because you're gonna have trouble really getting the supination. But it's really just closed chain rotation at the ankle, the foot, the knee, the hip. There's a ton of hip rotation going on. There's internal rotation, there's external rotation. And you're really trying your best. Almost imagine that I had a band right here on his left knee, and I was pulling him in. So his left glute's got a fire to get out of here and supinate. That's really what we're challenging the most. When you come forward, just try to relax your foot. Relax your left knee and just let it come forward. Remember, you can come to here, you can come to here. He's getting pretty damn far, but we can go to any one of those. I don't necessarily want you to be tall on this one. We're not necessarily talking about walking anymore. We're talking more of an athletic stance. So you see he's got a nice knee bend. It's a little bit lower. Again, I think playing defense on basketball is probably the easiest thing to picture here, but we're just getting that good stuff. Zero idea where you are on reps, so we're just gonna go ahead 15 more seconds. Good. Good. Everybody's a little bit different too, so remember you can go a little bit less, and maybe your knee doesn't travel as far as Sherwin's does. This guy's got the butter feet now that he's the official pronation supination guy. All right, switch sides. Okay, same thing on this side. Why is he carrying the block? Great question. Honestly, we didn't want him to do the Ricky Bobby things with his hands going all over the place, so we just gave him something. I think a progression of this exercise might be to use a med ball. Does it really add that much? I don't know. Maybe you could be really cool and have the basketball attachment, attach it to a cable, you know? But either way, basically we just want you to let your torso and your arms move together. So notice how he's letting his trunk rotate with his arms instead of just being super awkward and not knowing what to do with them. You could have a pillow, you could have a yoga block. You guys get that. We don't really need to get too far into detail with that. And you're also looking for differences. So on this one, a lot of people are probably gonna have the right groin tightness. So you might have trouble getting to here, and then when you come to here, you might feel like your right knee wants to fall inwards because we're actually putting a stretch on the right groin to get out there. So really try to feel, when you open up here and you're about to go into this next stage, feel this butt working. So go ahead and step out and feel that working to keep the knee in that direction. Beautiful. Forward. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and get you at 11 reps. We're gonna give you 20 more seconds. Just keep going nice and smooth. Notice any differences. Another really key thing here is that you should have learned from our first pronation, supination classes. He should have not lost his right tripod. So at no point has his tripod changed. Really sneaky way, that's kind of honestly annoying. That's probably why we didn't do it. You could take 3 quarters and you could put one under the ball of your foot, one under your pinky, and one under your heel, and that would give a different stimulus of where you should be feeling your tripod. Just that different texture from the ground could really help. So that's something that anybody can do at home if they want. Okay, that's kind of good. That's good. Let's move into the next thing. Next up, we're gonna do a little isometric here, sprinter's iso. He's gonna go ahead and use the foam roller. I was gonna say you don't need a foam roller, but you need a foam roller for the rest of the class anyway, so grab your foam roller. But it could be anything on the wall if you wanna do this outside of class. So he's gonna go ahead and just bring one knee up. Just imagine you're sprinting. Good. Now from here, we got no heel, so floating heel. I'd like to see this a little softer. Good. Now he has his energy from being here to getting into the wall. I want diagonal force, first horizontal, then a little bit of vertical into the wall, because I'm looking for this left glute, this left hamstring, and this left calf to be on the same team and propel him through the wall. Notice he's doing a good job of keeping some good protraction. He's not squeezing his shoulder blades back, and he is pushing hard into that wall. This is max effort, so give me 20 more seconds, max effort. And it should feel really exhausting on your left foot. Like it should be hard through that whole entire thing. Another thing that we're looking for is no symmetry. I need this side to go down and this side to go up. That's what I'm talking about, which is a hip lock. So that's what we really want, is for this side to be driving down so much, this side to be up. Good. And then you could even compress over here a little bit if your right shoulder came down a little bit, and that's lengthening your left side. Beautiful. 10, 9, you want me to count on this one, huh? Make sure I get the watch out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Beautiful, good. Simple and humble, just like all the shit we do. Good, okay, so press through there. Make sure that knee is soft. So soft and completely bent are different, as you guys should know by now, especially with the posture class. This hip needs to drive down, which is usually gonna be the hard one for people to get. So this one locks downward, this one comes up a little bit. You can exhale and feel left abs too, and even get a little push into the wall that way. Good. Now get that right heel further away from the ground. Perfect. So we talked about people having trouble with the right foot pronating. Sherwin's has gotten a lot better, but guess what? Now you go, there you go. So get your heel out to the right and push harder through here. Yes, that's hard, huh? You having fun? Good, okay, I'll start counting now. You guys have 75 seconds left. I'm just kidding. 10, 9, 8, get that in, get that in, get that in. There you go, yes, 7, 6, 5. Good, come on down, relax. Okay, good. So hopefully you guys saw that, right? So it's very sneaky, but a lot of you guys are gonna be kind of either falling out or falling in. We want that, it's a rotation, it's a spiral through the ground that's pushing off of there, okay? So that's how we're gonna do our sprinter iso. We're gonna have Bree bring something dynamic back, so try to remember that one. Let's go into the next thing. Next up, You're gonna be in a kneeling position, okay? We have stick mobility, but obviously you could use the wall. This is not a stability exercise. I really need you to be stable and feel confident where you are. What we're gonna do is basically do 5 ankle flex and point, so dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, and we're gonna do it from your end range of your hamstring. So let's start off down real quick. You're gonna go ahead and give me a good exhale. Everybody's gonna get out of their anterior tilt. So you're gonna tuck your butt under you. I'd love for you to drag your right foot back, which should give you right hamstring. Now, you're gonna go ahead and lift this up. I'm gonna put this ball behind him so he gets some feedback. Don't let the ball come out. Squeeze that as much as you can. Now point and flex your foot 5 times, nice and slow. The slower, the better. So you're trying to keep hamstring on, and you're learning how to point and flex. There's 2, again, 3 more. You're gonna get 5 on each side. Hamstring should be just burning. It should be Armageddon dying. You should feel all kinds of weird stuff in the calves and the shins, like they don't know how to work here, but they're doing their best. I care less about full range of motion, meaning I don't need your heel to touch your butt. I care more about you getting the right feels and staying out of your lower back. Good. Switch, nice and smooth, pull that up. Get the hamstring. I got you, you're good. Good, crush that. Now point and flex. Good, 1. Good, whole time keeping your tuck. You can breathe whenever you need it. 2, there you go, you just repositioned yourself better. Give me your, don't lose your left foot. Keep going. Don't lose your left foot on the ground though, especially the left arch. Good, so this is just extra. It doesn't really even need to be behind there. And after you get your 5th one, you're gonna switch sides. Good. So now we're gonna go full ankle car. So we're switching sides, right foot's in the front. Pull that left one up. Good, now give me a full ankle car. So all the way in, all the way around. And at no point do you drop. So stay up the whole time. There you go. And this one should be all kinds of jolty. You're getting 5 in each direction. Hamstring should be on fire the whole time. There should be plenty of those moments where it just goes whoop, whoop, whoop. And again, you're just learning how to control that hamstring. The idea of keeping hamstring and using the ankle is going to be a big theme today. We did our co-contraction on the wall, so this is kind of another different way of doing it. Just make sure the whole time you keep that tuck as best you can. After you get 5 in one direction, switch to 5 in the other. Everybody's reps are gonna be a little sloppy the first time. Just make sure you don't lose the right hamstring either. You're still pulling that foot back, still keeping that foot on the ground. Switch sides. Good. Take your time, bring it up. Nice and smooth. Keep the hamstring, control the foot. Yeah, this one doesn't like that. Good. There you go. Good. Everybody's gonna have a little bit of knee, and there's no shot that you even know that because you can't see your foot. But just imagine that when you're rotating the ankle and you're doing your in and out, that you're gonna try not to have your knee rotate. So it's gonna be a lot smaller than you think. Your hamstrings should stay isometrically kind of turned on, but they shouldn't necessarily feel like they're moving the knee. Because remember with our knee cars, we use the hamstring. We're trying to get the ankle, so the shins and the calves are controlling the ankle, but the hamstrings are isometrically locking the knee basically and just keeping it in that flexion. Good, and they're gonna be sloppy. These are pretty good, but most people are gonna be real sloppy. You're getting a little bit of external rotation of the tibia. That's probably the most common thing that people are gonna have. Good, okay, so you did 5 in both directions. Good, now you're gonna flip over. Let's go ahead and get onto your back. Next up, you're flat on your back. We're very similar exercise to what you just did, except instead of your hamstring being shortened all the way, it's gonna be working almost at full length. So I want his knee to be soft. I don't want his knee angle to change. You're gonna see a little bit of movement because the shin's gonna work and you're gonna see some stuff, but he really shouldn't move any more than touching my hand and coming back. So it shouldn't be very, very little. Now, this foot can be on anything, so it doesn't have to be on a yoga block. Just put it on something where it's a little bit higher. Even a book will work. Make sure your heel's comfortable. This is probably gonna be pretty hard for you, honestly. You're gonna pull down and drag your heel towards you so you find your right hamstring and tuck your right butt cheek under you. Your lower back can stay flat, but we do want your tailbone to scoop up under you. You should really feel your right hamstring. You feel it? Beautiful. Now don't lose that and show me that you can flex and dorsiflex. So point and then come back. And we're gonna do 10 of them, sorry. Just hang in there with me. Good. Whole entire time. Don't lose hamstring. Feel shin there. Point, feel calf. Don't lose hamstring. Good. Let's call that 4. Good. There's 5. Now don't do them sloppy, but go fast for the last 5. 1. There you go. 2. Good. 3. 4. 5. Beautiful. Switch sides. Good. Same thing. So same thing. Let's do first 5 slow, get the hang of it, and then go fast. Because we're kind of simulating running, right? Where your foot would react to the ground or even jumping. And having your knee stay strong and isometric while you're doing it. There should be no quad or lockout at the knee. It should be like your hamstring is the main thing working. So you're getting 5 slow, and then you're going into the fast ones for 5. 2. Nice. Good. Don't lose that hammy. 4. 5. Beautiful. Good job. Very nice. Okay. So there's that. Now we're going to go ahead and stand up, and we're going to get into the next exercise. Next up, if you can, grab a weight. Totally understand if you don't want to use a weight here, to be honest with you. This is going to be pretty brutal. You don't need any of this fancy wedge stuff that we got. It just has to be a book or something to elevate you. A yoga block's cool. I don't want it to be unstable though, so try to get something that really feels stable. He's got his forefoot on there. I'd love for him to have torso turns right, so that sternum, belt buckle, inside of the knee, knuckle, middle, and big toe stay in line. You're gonna do, we'll do the Sherwin style, you're gonna do 5 to 10 reps, which probably is gonna end up being 6 because he doesn't do minimum, but let's not get crazy. Okay, so slowly hinge back into it, knee angle stays forward, weight stays on the ball of the foot. Why? Because you have no other option. When you come up, right glute propels you forward, but you won't be able to stand all the way up. And that is money, that's what I want. If you lose your balance, get back into it. There is no left side. The left side is just a figment of your imagination. You're not really over there, it's not happening. You are a right-sided individual right now. Drive through the ball of the foot on the way up, connect right glute with right ball of the foot. Feel everything stretching in the back here, and then drive through it, bring the hip forward. And again, you're thinking about dragging your right foot under you and propelling yourself forward. Everybody else is going to want to open up to the left. You're going to want to push yourself to the left. Stay in that right side until you die, okay? All the way over there. Beautiful. And you should feel all kinds of stuff working together. I'm okay with some quad, but I really would love ball of the foot, hamstring, and glute the most. And make sure your knee angle does not go backwards. There is no knee back to this wall. There is none. It's got to come forward and stay forward, and we have to stay on the ball of the foot. If you lose your balance, get right back into it. Beautiful. Drive through. Beautiful. It's up to you how many you do. The watch has not been activated. I'm not counting. You are on your own. Beautiful. Okay, take your time, switch sides. Same exact thing, set up the ball of the foot. Could be a book, yoga block, anything like that. Again, you're keeping the middle of your thumb, the knee, the second toe, all that stuff in line. As you go down, imagine that you're pulling back into your left hip, but your knee is staying forward. And that's the money spot. Good. As you come up, drive through the ball of the foot. Good. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Down. Control it, feel everything stretch in the back, push all the way through. There is no right, there is no right. Do not let yourself turn right at the sternum. Don't turn your head to the right. Don't turn your pelvis to the right. Your belt buckle should be slightly turned to the left pretty much the whole time. Maybe it turns a little bit at the top, but try to turn it back when you go down. And you should be all up in that left hip, left calf. Your left calf should just be like, man, why are we doing this? I'm going back to Pronation, Supination 1. I'm not enjoying this. Good. 5 to 10 reps, wherever you feel the best with. Nice and smooth. Try to keep the weight on the ball of the foot, just like we've been working. Right where the sock was, that's where you're pushing through when you stand up. So you're trying your best to push through the sock as you come up, right where the ball of that foot is. Beautiful. Good. Very nice, okay? So let's go ahead and put that down. And now we are gonna go ahead and transition into, who would have guessed it, another hamstring of death exercise with the foam roller. Okay, you're flat on your back. You got your foam roller. This is gonna be tough. You know the foam roller exercise from the knee class that everybody talks about, hamstrings die and you're violently shaking. This is like that, but you're actually purposely shaking and moving your foot. So you can do both feet at the same time. Sherwin's a champion. We're just gonna throw him in the fire right away, per usual. So what I want you to do is similar to how we just had him on the wall with the sprinter, I want him to make sure he's pushing through the ball of his foot and keeping his heel kind of out a little bit, so it's like that. Beautiful. Now he's gonna keep his tuck, his lower back in touch, but not his hips, and he's gonna go ahead and slide fast. Make sure you're on the ball of the foot, try to relax your feet. Timer starts now, 30 seconds. Good. Good, so you're moving that foot back and forth, staying on the ball. You might roll to the midfoot, that's okay. At no point does your hamstring stop exploding. It should feel like it's tucking under the whole time. Keep going, keep going. You got 15 seconds left of death. Stay in there with me, keep trying to relax those toes. Good, you're pushing down through the ball, rolling back and forth. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. It's pretty brutal, huh? At least I brought the timer out for you. Yeah. Everybody's like, Ian, get the watch, get the watch. All right, bring the left foot there. Okay, tuck under, grab your right. Doing another 30 seconds. Ready, set, and go. And you guys can thank Dave and Greg for this one. This is definitely inspired by him. So what we're looking for is the knee angle doesn't change very much, but you just keep rolling there. And the whole time you're tucked under. You got 20 seconds left. Stay in there with me. Try to relax the feet. Keep that moving. Good. Hamstring should just be dying. Should be burning. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. All right, I got some good news and some bad news. We're gonna stand up, grab your yoga block or whatever you elevated yourself with. We're gonna do some split squat calf raises. Next up, grab your really stable, please, yoga block book, whatever you got. If someone really wants to, they can actually use a stick mobility or a wall or something too. Again, Sherwin just lives in the fire. So why don't you go ahead and step up there, man. You're gonna put the ball of your foot up there. Your split squat's gonna look a little bit different for everybody, but I would like it to be a relatively wide split squat. And then from there, what we're gonna do is reach that left arm forward. And he's just gonna do 10 calf raises on the right side. So he's gonna try to get his heel down so it stretches and up so that his calf works. Shouldn't feel any knee pain here, okay? Obviously, you don't want to feel pain anywhere. You want to slow it down just like he's doing a great job of. That shaking is normal and should happen. Beautiful, good. You can see when we get to the end range, it has trouble slowing things down. That's normal. And you're really just trying to think about spiraling through the ball of the foot, just like we've been doing the whole entire time. Sherwin had trouble with on the split stance against the wall where we pushed the foam roller, the sprinter ISO. And you can see that it almost kind of woke him up a little bit. And now he's really putting that weight through there. So we're getting that good and pushing through there. Nice, good, very good. Same thing, 5 to 10. I'm feeling pretty confident that he's gonna get 10 here. But we're going nice and slow. Your weight should be on your right foot. Reaching your left arm forward should have caused your chest to turn to the right already, and maybe your pelvis or your belt buckle to turn right too. But I want all of those things. So if you can think about that maybe a little bit, that'd be great. I also don't necessarily need you to get as high as Sherwin's getting on the way up. I do want you to get low, but don't feel like you need to get as high as he is, because that's actually really good and really strong. So I would expect some people not to be able to get all the way up. If by some reason, again, you're here and you needed a regression, a regular calf raise is obviously an option. Holding the split squat just like where he is right now is another option. You can get stronger there. But ultimately, you know, there's a reason that we have the classes progressing. One of the most common questions we get is, how do I know when I'm ready for the next one? Well, you run into this exercise and you go, holy shit, I don't belong here. This is really hard. Maybe I need to go back. So that can be an eye opener for everybody. And it's not something that needs to be like a big negative. It's just we're really making things hard. I mean, this is tough. Sherwin basically off camera asked me for a demonstration on all of these, and I politely decline almost every single time, you know, so that can just put you into the phase and stuff. The only thing I'm sweating from is my cold brew. We're not giving you reps. You're the sweaty guy. Good. Pushing through, feeling the calf, control the way down. And you should feel some right foot, some right glute, because we're pushing ourselves over to the left side. So you should definitely feel that, and that's absolutely normal. Okay, so now what we're gonna finish with is going to be our iso shift. We're not even gonna give you a break, Sherwin. Sorry, player. Let's get going. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with your right foot. You just did your left. What we're doing is we're taking the iso shift. So we're going tucked under, around the spine, sink back. I like vertical shin if you can sink down into it. Butt's tucked under, back is relaxed. As you come forward, you're gonna press through the ball of the foot and you're gonna lift up your chest so that your chest and your shin angle mirror each other. Shin angle, spine angle. Then he's gonna round out, come down, back to the heel, shift forward, push through the ball of the foot, lift the chest. And that's about as many reps as you're gonna get out of me, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get 5 to 10. AKA we're doing 6. I don't necessarily want your heel to leave the ground, but I'm also not upset if it does on the right foot. What I don't want is for you to feel a ton of pressure in your right knee. If you feel your right hip driving through the ground, that's fine, but I don't want you to feel a ton of pressure in the knee. Now, this is really, really, again, super hard. So take your time. If you need to take a break, dude. And what we're doing is when we actually get forward and back, you can lift yourself up higher too. So you cannot get as low if it's super hard, meaning like your tuck, how low you get, basically the angle of your hip. So you could stop there, or you could try to drop even lower. It's up to you. And just make sure you're getting weight on the heel, weight on the front of the foot, push through, lift the spine a little bit, come down, shift, shin angle goes vertical, left foot supinates, left foot pronates, drive through. Beautiful. Good. Good. And Sherwin's right foot is far back right now. That's okay, but it could also be more forward. So it could be more of kind of that close, kind of diagonal stance. It's really wherever you feel comfortable. Like I said, man, this is a burner. Okay, you got, what do you got, 5 on each? You already did them?
I got 1 more for 6.
Okay, good. Let's do it. Let's hit your daily minimums, man. The legend continues. Good. The Viking from Ohio, right? Or Iowa. Ohio. Good. All right, you did the right side. You got 6?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we're going to finish off with a 3D kind of calf raise up against the wall. Grab your foam roller, grab whatever you use to push into the wall. You could even do it without a foam roller, but let's get into that. Finishing up strong. We're really kind of putting a lot of these things together. So we've really hit your early stance where you're on your heel. We did a lot of midfoot stuff. And then that last drill where you're lifting your chest up is really where this turns into the drive into the wall. So try to imagine the journey we've been taking your poor hamstrings and feet on. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little split stance. Which side do you want to start with? So you're gonna push off your left? Okay, so you're gonna step back with your right foot slightly. And now this split stance doesn't have to be crazy. I want you to almost think about you're gonna do like a 40-yard dash, or like we're in the combine. So you're just gonna do a little step back, and then instead of going to the ground, you're gonna take this the other way and rotate towards your front hip. Good. So right now, he should be loaded up in this left hip, and let's get face to look forward. Beautiful. So we got torso left. This whole hip is like pulled in and winded up, and he should be all up in his left heel, okay? You're gonna take that left heel and turn it into midfoot and then ball the foot, and you're gonna drive into the sprinter iso. We're gonna hold for a 3 count, then he's gonna step up, reset himself. This is not fast. This is the end of the thing where you put everything together. You're gonna get 8 reps on each side, and you're gonna take as long as you want in between them. So you're gonna drive through, hold to the top. Good, okay. Give me no plantar flexion, shin, and now slowly come back. Take your time, and you're just figuring it out, but just try to get it to be a little smoother. Good, and now no more slow-mos, but don't be afraid of the wall. There you go, good. And remember, we want the hip lock on the left. So left hip down, right hip up. So boom, get to there every single time. Good, much better. Good. Good, it's like this calf is winding, boom, spreading. Good, so it winds up and then drives through. So there's the left supination, drive through, pronation. Boom, killing it, let's go. Love this. Good. Now give me a little bit, what's that, 7? One more, don't do this one yet. Don't lock out the knee first. I need hip extension before knee extension. So give me a little bit more forward before your knee locks. Yeah, way better. So think more horizontal on the other side. So now do on the other side. So we really never want your knee to lock before you've already maxed out your hip extension. Your hip should come forward before your knee locks out always. There's really nothing that we're gonna want that's not gonna happen. Beautiful. And keep thinking right hip low, left hip high when you finish. Good, and you can see how that changes. So when he comes back, there's left low, right high. Drive through, right low, left high. So that alternation is happening. Beautiful, good. Keep going, finish your 8, and now try to focus a little bit on the top. So give me less scapular retraction. So give me a little, yeah, there you go. So when you hit the wall, everything's so solidified up top that it doesn't pull your scaps back. You've already got such a push established. Those forces hit each other, you and the immovable wall, boom. And you just meet and hold. Yeah, there he is. Get a nice little pop through the wall. Don't worry about breaking that wall. Try to. Yes, let's go. Good. On your last ones, try to push through the ball of the foot. You're getting a little bit less spiral than I want on the right. Boom. Yes, there he is. How many more you got? 1? Let's go. Last one, best one. Beautiful job. Execution, unbelievable. Great job, everyone. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did. Please let me know how your hamstrings and feet feel tomorrow. Don't be alarmed if you wake up, some of that stuff's a little sore. Have a great day. Major shout out to Sherwin. Thanks for pushing through the fire, man.
Thank you.
Have a great day.